What's up and happy Friday, everyone? This is Don Harkins with your Florida Loan Team and your Florida House Team. I wanted to give you guys a quick market update. Today is Friday, July 23rd, and we are starting to see the conversation about the real estate market change a little bit in the news and the media. Even anecdotally, if you're talking to friends and neighbors, you're going to start to hear some rumors about the market changing some. So I want to take a minute and address some of those rumors, talk about the reasons behind it, look at the national real estate picture, and then we're going to drill down really close in Central Florida and just talk about the numbers in our local market. So, when we are talking about the real estate market as a whole, there was an article that came out in Bloomberg from Danielle DiMartino where she said that consumer confidence is at a 40-year low with regards to the housing market and how likely it is to continue appreciating. And the reality is, we know buyers are struggling to find great homes at great prices in this market. Real estate is up 7% from January 2021 to today. It's up nearly 15% year over year. These are rapid appreciation numbers that makes it very challenging from an affordability standpoint. But there are still a lot of benefits for buyers getting out there and getting into the market. The same way it sucks to go on a diet or go on a gym or to save money and put off that purchase or put off that vacation. When you do the hard things, you get through it. Looking back, you feel a lot better and you get great rewards. And that's what you see as a buyer in this housing market. It can be a challenge being competitive, looking at houses, staying on top of searches. But once you purchase in this market, if you have a home to sell, or if you're relieving yourself from a position of being in a rental, you are going to see a massive benefit as a result of that, either from a seller perspective on the back end or as a homeowner who's no longer paying rent. So, one of the things that's interesting to pay attention to when we're looking at these rapidly rising prices, we do know that some people are hoping those prices are going to come back down. And the reality is, prices just simply can't come down until there is more supply. And when we look at 2007 and when prices came down, what we saw is 3.7 million homes on the market and not enough demand to sop up that extra supply. There was also irresponsible and risky lending practices happening at the time, which exacerbated the supply levels. Today, we have no risky lending practices. All borrowers are checked with an ability to repay. We've seen very, very high lending standards continue throughout the last couple years and no changes in sight there. So fast forward to today, we have some of the tightest inventory ever with only 1.2 million homes for sale. And additionally, demand is extremely strong due to demographics. And in fact, when we look at supply and demand now compared to 2007, there are 12 million more households, i.e. demand, and 2.5 million fewer homes on the market. It is hard to foresee how in the near future we start to see relief in supply to allow prices to come back down. So there's actually so much demand. In fact, the nation's largest home builder, D.R. Horton, is voluntarily scaling back new starts and new projects to allow the supply chain, like labor, materials, and appliances, an opportunity to catch up. They know they can sell more houses, but they are just no longer willing to start new projects and stress that supply chain. They just know they can only sell so many houses. They can only build so many so fast, even though demand is sufficient. So when we see values rising at that breakneck pace that they have been, we do understand this cannot continue forever. So expect to see this rapid appreciation start to slow down at some point here in the near future. That's a good thing. But just remember, there is a huge difference between a slowdown in rapid appreciation and an actual pullback in pricing or reduction in average sale price. That just doesn't seem like it's going to be very likely to happen in the near future. So when we look at hard numbers, let's get into just our real estate statistics here locally. What we're seeing year over year with showing activities, we're seeing showing activity down a little bit, about 28% from where it was this time last year. Remember, we were coming out of lockdown this time last year. We had an entire season of housing that was sort of put on hold and pushed further into the seasonal cycle than it normally would be. So we're probably seeing that year over year comparison a little bit skewed as a result of that. But We are recognizing that there are fewer homes for sale. Some buyers are just not wanting to participate in the market, so we are seeing a small reduction in showing activity. For median list price, today in the Central Florida market, median list price is sitting around $359,000. Surprisingly, we are seeing the highest price point, the highest market segment, appreciating faster than we're seeing the lower price points appreciating. Another thing to comment on, total inventory levels. We are starting to see inventories rise, and we're starting to get some relief there. So what we saw in April, 2,655 homes for sale, 2,822 in May. We're at 3,098 total inventory right now in July. So we're slowly coming up in inventory, which is going to provide a little bit of relief. We're seeing homes back on market holding steady, so not really seeing buyers falling through or sellers listing poor homes that are falling out in inspection. That's holding steady. We are seeing days on market at their lowest level in the past 2 years, so 29 average days on market across Orlando Regional Realtor Association. So if you're a seller, you're thinking about listing and you're trying to plan out your move and how long you can expect that to take, most sellers are selling their homes in about 29 days. When we're looking at mortgage rates, what we've seen is a really stable and stagnant mortgage rate environment now for about the past 90 days. So when we look at the 30-year conforming rate for the national index, it's sitting at about 3.0%. For borrowers who put 20% down with A-plus credit, they're about 0.1% lower at 2.9%. VA borrowers are seeing the best rates at 2.66% today. So if you are a VA borrower, if you've served or you're a veteran, there's a great opportunity for you to still get out there and lock in a fabulously low interest rate. We do have a new blog post that came out this week that compares some neighborhoods where there's been a sale and a rental on similar homes that occurred at the same time period. So you can kind of see if I'm renting today or if I'm going to go rent versus buying and it's going to be the same house in the same neighborhood or something very comparable. You can see what that looks like. So be sure to check out that blog post. As always, if you have any questions about buying or selling, refinancing, or purchasing a home in today's market, give me a shout. You can reach me at 321-377-0341. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Take care.